But thank you so much for taking time out of what is obviously quite a hectic time for you. Obviously, we're here to talk about Land of Bad. Now I know that I think your dad served in the military. Was it that sort of personal aspect that drew you to this project?
Not at all. Actually, saying that, growing up as a kid, I grew up on Air Force bases, around the world. With my dad flying helicopters in the Royal Air Force. I was surrounded by planes, by helicopters, by the military. So I guess that kind of shaped my viewing interests because I always loved military films. I always loved more war movies, action movies. I grew up with Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, all these kind of action heroes. And funnily enough, Land of Bad is the first action movie actually done, which is crazy because of my interests. And then, I'm such a physical actor. I would have thought that maybe I'd have had a few more in the locker. But as soon as this script crossed my desk, it was a very quick turnaround. It was only like 2 days. I got the script Friday night, absolutely loved it. Written by David Frugero, who just wrote these great dynamics, layered characters, loads of action that you could even see, even in the writing, you could see it was going to be pretty epic, which is, it's always good to see as before you get attached to a project. So that was the Friday night. I then had to meet Will Eubank, the director, the Saturday over Zoom. We got on like a house on fire. I watched 15 minutes of his previous movie, Underwater, with Kristen Stewart, and I only got 15 minutes in, and I was like, I'm in. If he can make an underwater movie look vivid and epic and make her look so great, I thought, what can he do with explosions, with jets, with helicopters, with bullets and jungle? And he did not disappoint. Like, this movie looks so good. I really think Will Eubank is the next generation of action directors. He's phenomenal. He's a visual genius, and he did not disappoint. He's such a great guy. He worked his butt off. And then you look at the cast that was involved. I was the last to be cast, so to have the opportunity to work alongside Russell Crowe, who is one of the best actors of our generation, an idol of my generation, I thought that would be incredible. Liam Hemsworth, Luke Hemsworth, I met for the first time in Australia and literally became the fourth Hemsworth brother. We're now related, and I couldn't love them more. Who better to show you around Australia than the Australian royal family? And then Milo Ventimiglia, I've known for years over here in LA. We've been great friends, and we worked it out. We've just been on tour in Mexico together at the premiere out there, and we realized it's been 10 years we've known each other, and we've constantly talked about, we need to find a project together, we need to work together. And when this came along, I thought this was literally the perfect storm. I love Australia. I wanted to meet the Hemsworth brothers and work with them. I've always wanted to work with Milo, and then add into that Russell Crowe's gravitas. This was an incredible opportunity that I just did not want to miss. And I was straight on the plane and in Australia on Monday. It was that quick.
Wow. I mean, you talked to me, about Australia. I mean, I myself, I don't think I can ever go. I'm a massive arachnophobe, and everything over there wants to kill you. And you guys, you're not, you guys, you're not filming in like the city centre or anything. You're out in the stick. You're
Oh,
out in the little
yeah.
trees. What was that experience like?
I've been to Australia a lot, but for various Comic Cons due to my shows in like American Gods, The 100, that kind of sci-fi Comic Con audience. So I've done Sydney several times. I've actually done Brisbane before, which was near where we shot. Adelaide, Perth. I've done them all. But the Gold Coast is a different part of the world. It was truly beautiful. It was so relaxed, so chill. They put us up in the Langham Hotel, which is it's a kind of skyscraper hotel right on the beach overlooking the ocean. Every morning, I would literally hit the treadmill for an hour and just watch whales breaching in the ocean, because it was mating season or something. But I'm like, am I really being paid to sit here and watch Mother Nature throw whales up into the air? It was incredible. It was truly beautiful. We shot way up in the mountains. It was stunning to look at, and the Australian crew were just a barrel of laughs. What I've never met an Aussie I've not liked. They're just like the Brits. They're crazy. They love a drink. They love to have fun. and on set was just nonstop laughs. They instantly become family. It was so much fun. But you're not wrong. Everything does want to kill you in Australia. And Luke would go surfing, and I was like, that's not going to happen because there's great whites. We would pull our socks up over, real tight. We'd pull our trousers over our socks, and we'd tighten up our ankles because you didn't want anything crawling up you. I'd be exhausted carrying away all this weight of the bulletproof vest, the equipment, the 3 guns that I had, my sniper rifle. But I refused to sit down because I did not want anything to crawl onto me. I never stood still. I was constantly kind of doing the dad 2-step, like a dad at a Christmas party, because I didn't want my feet to step. You're constantly aware that something can get you at any time. And even that didn't stop it. There was this moment when I was talking to the producers, and Milo came up behind me, and he's like Papa Bear. He's always looking out for me. I'm like the troublesome child that's always messing around and being goofy with Luke. He's kind of like my twin. And Milo's always fixing my equipment. So I'm always aware that he's around me doing things because he's always looking out for us. And he's around the back doing something. And then he slaps me in the back. And I'm like, okay. He comes around the front, and on the end of his knife is a spider. This white tip spider had crawled up my back and was slowly crawling up towards my neck. The Grant, who was a part of our props department, was trying to just shoo it off because he's like, they're used to it, and they love nature. So he's trying to shoo it off. Milo's like, nah, killed it, stabbed it, brought it round. It was like, saved your life, bro. This thing can literally, worst case scenario, kill, but at the least case, it can give you a flesh-eating disease that you will have forever. So literally, I owe my life to Milo. Australia nearly got me. It nearly got me.
Yeah, I'm fine over here. And I think I'm just going to stay here. It's fine.
Yeah.
And like your character Bishop, he doesn't quite the journey. When we meet him, he's kind of always like the jokester of the group. But then, as war does, it changes him, and he goes through this horrific ordeal. How, as an actor, how do you sort of access those really dark areas? Because you say the set was a lot of fun, but you're having to sort of like unheave trauma that he's experienced.
Yeah, I mean, well, when it comes down to that part, it's pretty simple. The beginning of the movie, I think what separates this from a lot of action movies is I love action, and I love all these movies that are coming out at the moment, but quite often I don't attach to the hero because I don't care enough. They don't give me enough depth, or I don't care about what they're fighting for. And the great part about David Frugero in this movie is he wrote a dynamic of brotherhood, and you see them at the beginning of the movie. It's a slow start. It's a slow 15 minutes where we're introducing the guys, their relationships, and it's a way of creating a passion for their survival. You want these guys to survive because we've made you care about them. You see how Milo, his character, has a wife and a daughter. It's indicated that Bishop has a wife and a daughter also that they talk about during the mission. Luke's character has the picture of his family in the helmet with the joke where, no, that's not my family. The picture just came with the helmet. You've kind of got this great banter and fun at the beginning of the movie, which really makes you care about them. So it was really easy to bounce off each other because we had such great chemistry off camera, going for steak dinners, training together. We hung out like all the time. So you've got that great camaraderie. But when it comes towards, later on in the movie, I think you're literally just drawing upon the great writing and the situation that would be, because it is intense. We have gone through so much. I mean, without spoiling it, there's pictures I want to post it in a few months when it's kind of well and truly out of my character just truly covered top to tail in blood and things, because they really go through the mill. But it's an exhausting shoot. We were exhausted. It was, crazy hot in Australia. You're running up and down these mountains day in, day out, with all this extra weight and equipment on. So you're physically exhausted. So you kind of use that kind of physical exhaustion and mental exhaustion to just use that in scenes. We were genuinely tired, and it really did help with the characters. And then we would set up a gym just off set because there may have been some shirtless scenes, and we're vain actors. So, we're all doing press ups and pull ups and throwing weights around. just to truly exhaust ourselves, so that you're physically exhausted when that tape starts rolling. And the guys just did a fantastic job. Will was able to grab some really epic shots, and Will, sorry, not Will, Milo, Liam, they really kind of put themselves in that dark place. And so as an actor, you're just reacting to, other great actors.
Have I fun? Yes, go away. Sorry, that's a 5-year-old. Um, well, something that I found fascinating is that the cast, obviously there's yourself, but then there's four alumni from Neighbours. Obviously, you yourself, did some time on Hollyoaks. I think there's this unwarranted snobbery almost to actors who come from soaps. Whereas actually it's a really good training ground for a young actor. I was just wondering if there was anything that you sort of learned in your days on Hollyoaks that you still sort of carry with you to now.
I find it hilarious, the stigma that's attached to soap, especially in the UK, and especially for a show like Hollyoaks. We're deemed the pretty soap, but it's not the pretty soap. It was just younger actors who are deemed attractive. But what you do learn in soap acting is just a quick turnaround. You were shooting a new episode every day. You had to know your lines. I would be halfway through a scene, and a whole new page of lines would come down, and you have to learn a whole new scene there and then when you've already shot half of it. But you did it because it was a muscle that you just constantly had to use, because soap doesn't stand still for anybody. Um, so what I did learn is just to quickly how to digest material very quickly, to learn it and to spit it back out, and to also deal with every kind of emotion under the sun. My character on Hollyoaks was the good guy turned bad guy turned good guy. He'd killed people. His sister was a drug addict. His mum dies. Like, all these kind of different things going on, and that can only stand you in good stead for when someone asks you to play a certain part or a certain scenario, and you're like, I've already got that in my locker. You look at the actors that have come from Hollyoaks and other soaps and how well they've actually done in America. I've got a good friend out here, Rob Kaczynski in EastEnders. You've got Roxanne McKee did some various things. My little sister Natalie Emmanuel is killing it. She's in Fast and Furious franchise. Maze Runner. Like, I love her to bits, and she's so like, oh, she's so pure of heart, and I'm so happy for my little sister to be doing so well. It's funny that two of us in the same family have come across and done so well. Even Brian Bovell, I've spotted him in a couple of things here and there as well. So it's a great education for any actor to go into soap, and it should not be looked down upon because they work so hard. They work 5 days a week, and it's tough hours, and they have to go through a lot. And it is a great education for any actor because at the end of the day, it's about experience. That's what truly creates a great actor, is that experience. And the more you're on set, the more comfortable you are in your own skin, the better you are at handling different kind of actors and scenarios. You become a chameleon. And yeah, I recommend it to anyone for sure.
Well, that's kind of the perfect place to end. I wish you the best of luck with the home improvements and with the and yeah, I hope to speak to you again in the future for another project. Maybe another action film, maybe something different.
Yeah, I've got a couple in the pipeline. I think I might be shooting one in the UK, hopefully, if not this year, next summer. So maybe I'll be right down the road. We can do it in person.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to go and wrestle my phone off my child.
No worries. You have a great day. Thanks for your time.